E te iwi, nau mai hoki mai ki taka nini, te kemu whakamutunga mo te rā tuarua of this broadcast. Another great game we just had. It was the Bay of Plenty under 18 girls that took on the Manawatu under 18 girls. A fine performance of the just extreme capabilities and the expertise that all the sides here are putting on display for us. Another great game we've got coming up. We've got the Turanganui-a-Kiwa mixed side taking on the Bay of Plenty mixed side in the under-18 division. Ko Sean Mulkey tēnei, and I am joined by Maya Williams. Tēnā koe, Maya.
Tēnā koe, Sean. I'm actually really excited about this game. Reason being, I look at Turanganui-a-Kiwa. They've had a great finish. They started a little bit slow, having a couple of losses, close one against Nelson Touch. But in their last 3 games, winning 11-3 over Wellington, then 7-5 over Manawatu. And this is the exciting one for me, 8-4 over Waikato, the under-18 mixed team. So they're bringing a lot of momentum into this. And the other reason is because when you think of mixed touch, you think of Bay of Plenty touch. Well, I know I do, because that's when I sort of was coming in to the grade, and Bay of Plenty was just, I think they could have played with 4 players, and they would have won. Such was the quality of their team. But then when you look at Bay of Plenty and their results, only having lost 1 game, they've had a draw in there, but they've been pretty solid throughout since they started. Both of these teams having had 5 games, maybe 6. We've got the results 4-5. They potentially could have had 6, but yeah, exciting one ahead of us. And I like it because what I think might be how evenly matched they are.
Yeah, it's an exciting one, absolutely. You look at the two sides, they've both got the big smiles on their faces. You see the Bay of Plenty team list up on the screen at the moment. Some awesome names from down in the Bay of Plenty. As you would know, you read these team lists, there's some very prominent figures there. An exciting game for sure, and no better opportunity. The end of day 2, you get a game on the live stream to play for your whānau back home. E mihi ana ki ngā whānau mai te Taitonga me ki from down in the Turanganui-a-Kiwa. Very excited to be a part of this opportunity, and no better place to be. We look at the mixed division, there's 14 teams. Bay of Plenty, it's their first time back here in a while, joined by Taranaki and Wellington. They haven't been here for a while, but 14 teams in the competition makes for 2 strong pools, and we'll have a great game in store for us today.
I'll give you $100 if you can answer these next 2 questions right. There are only 2 teams in the under-18s mixed grade that have ever won this grade twice, or more than once, sorry. One of these teams are one of them. Which one is it?
Oh, well, part of me likes to think that the Turanganui-a-Kiwa are more recent. However, I know that they've been here in the past. I'm having a feeling that it would have been the Bay of Plenty.
Turanganui-a-Kiwa, they've actually won it twice. The most recent time actually was in 2021. No, sorry, they haven't won it twice. That was my bad. Looking at the under-18, the different grades. So this actually gets me onto the second part of this question. This question actually will be factually correct, and hopefully you can get the right answer. There's only one team that's ever won it more than twice. They've won it 3 times. Somewhere in the whole country. What province do you think that is?
Somewhere in the whole country. 18 mixed. I'm going to stretch down to the South Island.
Oh, yeah, because you had a look at your book. That's all right. The Southland team.
Southland. No, I wouldn't have picked Southland. I was probably edging towards Nelson just because I know of the Anderson whānau down there. But no, well, judging based on the other Southland teams playing out here today, that's no surprise to me.
Back to this game anyway. We've already lost 1 minute and 20 by me asking questions that don't make sense. Bay of Plenty already got across 4-1 in their very first set. Lethal start by them. Turanganui-a-Kiwa, however, held them off in that second one. Now they have the ball.
Some great spacing held out wide there from the number 14. Kahukiwa, he's done well to hold his space, giving his middles a great platform. Coming through, they split to what I thought was going to be an open side quickie. They scooped out, they ran the late cut. Ball not quite going to hand there, but a little bit of flair early on.
We use the word athleticism, and it makes sense when we talk about players, but it's not normally one we normally use when you talk about referees. But Jimmy Wang, he's an absolute athlete. And as you said, you actually got to play him and his brother at the World Cup that just happened over in England. He's playing for Chinese Taipei. Fantastic referee. Oh, what a dive, what a catch. Surely that should be worth more than one try, Sean.
Yeah, that's an incredible play from Bay of Plenty. We just see the powerful scoop into the in goal. It was from that number 6, Richards Tefo, and he finds number 15, Tiaki Hunia. If I stand corrected, I believe he has been playing at an Opens level, and he is a very impressive young man.
Strong start, Bay of Plenty. Turanganui-a-Kiwa, obviously, will not want this game to get away from them this early. Oh, nice little play. Look to throw the long ball, fake the long ball, and then just he actually had to wait a little while for his link to step back in. You see him here just hold it, almost telling him to come in. Great line there from the number 13 from Turanganui-a-Kiwa.
Yeah, you don't have to go far to find some highlights from the New Zealand mixed touch blacks team from back in the day. We see quite a lot of those plays coming out quite frequently. It's the pump long, the pump short, and then they just hold it up there nicely. And I mean, hey, if the time of old and Aussie couldn't stop it, it's a great play to implement here.
I think those days were the heyday in terms of the creativity and the expression of skill that we had. And I sometimes wonder if our game is just so sanitized, almost robotic by nature, and it's, I know it's taken away from the color and the creativity and the dynamicness of the game, and maybe I'm talking out of the whole of my head, but I wouldn't say it's cookie cutter, but it's a lot more similar how the two teams, or most countries, play now than what it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, some great skill coming here from the number 12 of Turanganui-a-Kiwa, Kahurangi Leach Waihi. Some great skill. He just he scoots to the left-hand side. The goosey on the outside, gets the ball down well, the back flick to finish. That was a great display of athleticism and skill, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else he's got.
I was getting concerned where this game was leading when Bay of Plenty got up 2-0, particularly how they scored that touchdown in the first set, and then they scored another one not too long after, 2-0. It looked quite easy. Turanganui-a-Kiwa have done a fantastic job, and Leach Waihi getting across for their second one. This is more what I thought in terms of that real competitive battle that we were going to have. Talk about stretching out from 5 metres out and still getting across.
Yes, it was Richards Tefo running the cutter there somewhat. He was directing the play, and then he found Tiaki Hunia coming down the lane with that big stretch out as you spoke about. And one thing to highlight from me was the left-handed dive. We don't see that often, and he favoured it quite early, so I'm excited to see if he goes back to that again.
Yeah, we actually only seen that once yesterday, didn't we? And it sort of shocked us both. Definitely not something we're accustomed to seeing. Turanganui-a-Kiwa with their tails up. Nice strong touch. Definitely needed to happen. There from the 16 from Bay of Plenty. Callum Keel.
Just taking our kōrero back to how sometimes teams can be seen as being robotic and almost a little bit of copy and paste. It definitely does creep into our game a bit, and I think it is important when we see like this, the yards and the same. We all have the same objective, which is to get down to the 7-metre line to create opportunities. However, I think there is room when we get the resets on the line or the taps from within the halfway, when we're going to get 2-3 strikes on the line, to really just open up the playbook a little bit, to get a little bit creative with it. I know coaches out there like to say, touch one, you don't want to take risks because you've got 5 opportunities there. But I just really think there's room for it in the game to really just express themselves and to start showing what they've got.
Yeah, I think the level of expression comes back to the ability of the player. And if you lack fitness, then obviously the yards patterns are straight to the box. If you can't pass off both hands, then obviously you don't do that. So I guess those teams who can really express themselves are the teams who fundamentally are really have those skills down packed.
And it becomes pretty clear-cut which teams do have those fundamentals. We see it early on. We talk about winning the first 2 minutes of the first half. Again, the second 2 minutes of the second half. It's super important to make sure that these teams are accurate early and they control the game. To be honest, I couldn't separate the two here. I wouldn't be able to tell you who's controlling the game more than the other, but I think it's going to be quite the arm wrestle.
Pirihi Coots and Leach Waihi working in tandem now. Last touch, looking to find something. I thought we were going to see another one of those fifth touchdowns. Nice save there from the Bay of Plenty middle. Pep Chisholm, I think it was. Again, when you think, I said earlier, you think about the mixed touch, you think Bay of Plenty, but what you also do think about is how strong and how tough the female players are from the Bay of Plenty.
Too right. I've had the opportunity to become very close with one of the greats in the game from Bay of Plenty at the moment, Jordan Tuakana-Hudson, and he has been informing me on just how the structure works down in the Bay of Plenty. Obviously, his father, a big figure in the game down there, his whole whānau, in fact. And it's just awesome to see where the game's going, the growth the game's getting. Again, the Stone whānau, Shack Stone, Morris Stone, they're just growing the game to a whole new level above and beyond what it already was. And I say those names because those are the names that have been around when I am, and I know there's a lot more out there that have grown the game to where it has been before. But it's just awesome to see for the Bay of Plenty. As you say, the Wahine are very, very strong from that region, as seen in this game here.
4 touchdowns, almost a flurry you'd call it in that first 5 minutes, and the next 5 minutes it's become a lot more defensively orientated. But as I say that, like always, whatever I say, you can guarantee the opposite's about to happen. As Turanganui-a-Kiwa go in for their 3rd touchdown. Dummies all over the place, holding the defenders up, and she doesn't look too happy about that. She's telling the camera, cut that one.
Yes, and a couple of faces there I recognise from the Ngāti Porou under-21 mixed team, who became the first Ngāti Porou team to win the Māori Nationals, and they've backed it up to come down and play for the Turanganui-a-Kiwa 18 mixed team. Just shows the talent and the youth that they've got down there on the coast. Oh, great long ball, a great finish in the corner. If I see that number right, I think it is number 1. Oh, the touch has been called. What a great finish nonetheless.
Went back that side. Might even be the number 7, actually. It's Aotearoa on that Bay of Plenty wing. Just in case, whānau, you have been at the beach on this Saturday. You've been out for a walk for the last 5 hours, and you've missed the opportunity to nominate one of your home ground heroes. Before the end of this half, we're going to chuck up our QR code. And all you need to do is get your phone out, unless it's a flip top, because I'm not sure they work, and scan that QR code, nominate your home ground hero, a hero who does so much mahi back in your community in the sport of touch, where they go into the draw to win one of 5 $5,000 prizes. So there it was, that QR code. It won't be the only time it comes up between now and the end of this game. This is our last game, and that's why I say it with a bit of urgency. Make sure you take the opportunity to nominate your home ground hero. After the start Bay of Plenty had, Sean, 2-0 within the first 3 minutes. Now 3-2 Turanganui-a-Kiwa, and probably would say the momentum with them too.
Yeah, we've seen a real momentum shift as we see it go the other way, and wow, we just see a little bit of razzle-dazzle. Just as I'm about to say things are going the way of Turanganui-a-Kiwa, I eat my words. Bay of Plenty come off the back of a great yardage set. The strong scoop out of dummy half, as we'll see in the replay here, sets up well. Number 12 from Turanganui-a-Kiwa just getting caught up in the ruck. 13, Bay of Plenty, Tahana with the back flick, finding number 1, Pep Chisholm. Wow, what a finish.
Literally just said all the momentum with Turanganui-a-Kiwa, and they score 3-3. That's what we want tomorrow, draws.
We talk about winning the small moments, turning momentum, making that shift in momentum. Bay of Plenty, they score a good try, they go up again, they defend the try. We talk about the try only really counts if you're able to defend it. They defend it. Unlucky to make an error there, but still stop the try nonetheless.
Obviously, we'll be back tomorrow, Sean. Another 6 games on this broadcast. People can be here watching tomorrow on Whakata Māori. You'll be able to watch it on TV. Finals will have Probably a couple of semi-finals in the morning to start with, just to sink our teeth into, get excited about, and then we'll have the 6 finals. Maybe we actually might have more. It will be interesting to see. I know we'll have at least 4 of those finals, so if you only just tuned in to watch this one, make sure you come back tomorrow. The best under 16s and 18 players in our country will be representing their provinces in the final of this Bunnings Warehouse Youth National Championships.
It's quite hard to express just the level of touch that's being played down here. We've been given the opportunity to get a small glimpse of how high the standard is here this weekend. Tomorrow, the day of all days, we'll see touch like this on the regular. Bay of Plenty, they come from a 2-point down deficit, 1 point, and now they take the lead by 1 point.
And it's this man, Tahana, who's done that both times. He sprinted through on the left-hand side into this left-hand corner for the last touchdown, and that one we just see there, he goes down that right-hand side. You can't, what do they say? You can't coach speed.
Yeah, as we look to come into what a lot of us refer to as the business end of the competition, the moments that everyone's working towards when you start playing semi-finals, you get into the finals, drop-offs become something that happens, and I'm sure you're probably the biggest fan. You like to see a drop-off in the final, as do I, so I'm excited to see some tomorrow.
Absolutely. And just going back to the term you used, so we just look at Turanganui-a-Kiwa, that same play, we see the Bay of Plenty winger there, Ngahue, just lying on her back going, come on, lads, help me out. Ties the game up 4-4. Surely we can just have a bit of a, let's just have a fun drop-off on day 2 instead of waiting for day 3. But you talked about a snapshot, and that's all we get to see up here in the commentary box. We get to see 6 of the games, generally speaking, from all the different grades. And so when we see an outstanding performance, we think that's probably the top team in the grade, and we have no idea who's out there. I must say, though, that Counties Manukau under-16 team, if they aren't in the finals, then I'm really keen to see their finals, because any 2 teams that could beat them must be absolute dynamite, though.
No doubt. Just walking around the park and hearing conversations going around, you definitely hear just the calibre of what's out there, and there's definitely a few teams that we haven't even got on our radar yet. They're going to kind of come out tomorrow, and they're going to have the opportunity on the broadcast to show the whole motu exactly what they've got to put on display, as we see probably the final touch. Unfortunately there, Turanganui-a-Kiwa, number 7. Quinn Pirihi Counts, he knows he just made a slight error there. There's no point in highlighting that too much. He'll be a little bit disappointed in that one. But kei te pai, he hawhi anō kei te haere mai, kua mutu te hawhi tuatahi hei a konei.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Kia ora touch whānau, welcome to Quick Hit, your short, sharp and touch relevant warm-up, with the aim of warming up and moving those important body parts before kicking into activity. The Quick Hit warm-up requires minimal space, minimal time, and allows for innovation.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Kia te whānau, welcome back to the second half of this, the last of our live stream games on our broadcast. Broadcasted out to you through Whakata Māori, also on YouTube. 4-4, it's the type of game we like to see up here. You're here with Maya Williams and Sean Wilkie for the last 15 minutes. Sean, of this day, it's been a massive day here, day 2. We've been in between games looking at results from other teams that are playing out in the grounds, and we've got a keen eye on a few teams and seeing how those grades are going. But when we see play like this, what a dive that was from the number 15, Tiaki Hunia, there for that one. We've seen some great skill on display, a real shift in momentum. It went Bay of Plenty 2 touchdowns, then Turanganui-a-Kiwa 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, in a row, and then Bay of Plenty getting 2 and Turanganui finishing it back. So it's been a real to and fro. Each team taking the momentum for short periods of time, and so obviously the team who can do that for the longest in the second half will probably the one that gets across the line.
Yeah, nail on the head there, Maya. It's definitely been a game of momentum shifts for sure. I think Bay of Plenty have really iced their moments when they've been given the opportunities. However, Turanganui-a-Kiwa have been creating their own opportunities down on their line. For example, as we see there, number 13 from the Bay of Plenty, Tahana, what a game he's been having. He'll be looking to exploit those opportunities there again in the later of the second half.
Sure will be. Turanganui-a-Kiwa get us underway for this, the second and final half, not only of this game, but for day 2 here at Bruce Pulman Park. I'm sure if he scored a touchdown, that would have ended up being a forward pass. Yet we see it here. You can just tell when the receiving players get the ball in front of the attacking player. Sideline referees don't miss that too often. Bay of Plenty, though, I like this from them. Look at this intent.
Yeah, and there's Tahana. He's doing work all over the paddock, and he still sprints off to the sideline. As a coach, that's the sort of the minuscule little skills you look for. He does his work on the try line, does his work on defense, subs off well, and gets the fresh legs on, as we see there. A great set.
Can I ask you a question? 99% of the teams will do exactly what the Bay of Plenty team did then. They've had a half-time break. They've come on. They've defended from the halfway, got a turnover, and then we've seen 4 players go sub. And I would say 99% of the teams will do that. Why does that happen? Is it just that robotic mentality? Is it just we're not tough enough to just go, well, actually, I'm fresh?
Yeah, I think there is probably that mindset that I shouldn't stay for too long, and maybe there's someone else that is fresh. We've only just defended one set. I do like to think that there is probably opportunities where we can afford to stay a little bit longer, but you did right. It is drilled into us that as soon as you defend one passage of play, just look for the sub box, because if you are unfortunate and unable to score, you then attack, defend again, and have to try work your way off. And sometimes that can be a hard ask. But when you're as fit and as athletic as these rangatahi are, and it just makes you wonder what else they could be doing if they're not staying on every subset.
And when I say 99% of the teams, I'm not just saying at this grade. I mean throughout every grade, all the way through to the open men's grades. It just seems to be that, okay, we've defended on the scoreline. Now we go into our sub-box set and get some new people on.
It's definitely something that gets drilled into us at the open level just because of the intensity of the game and how fast it is played. And when you can get stuck out there for a number of steps and you just get punished on the defensive line and then you have to try work your way off, it can be quite a hard feat to do. For these guys, not a problem.
Bay of Plenty done well on defense. They look promising through this zone when they had the ball last. Just unfortunately a turnover. I want to be a little bit more accurate now. I like this, getting direction there. You can see Mitchell, Davenport, the number 4.
One thing I have come to enjoy throughout all of the games on a broadcast here, we're very lucky to be sitting in quite an elevated position. We get to see both sub-boxes. It's just so awesome to see the involvement that the management staff have in their sub-box. Yes, they stand a little bit further back to give their team some space, but every time a player comes off, they've got a bottle of water straight in their hand. There's positive reinforcement going around, high fives, smiles, and that's what it's all about.
100%. And Turanganui-a-Kiwa now, can they get across for the first touchdown? Great cover defense here from Bay of Plenty. You've seen those middles really working across. 4 defenders, probably within the space of 10 metres from that sideline. Now can Turanganui-a-Kiwa really squash them down in this right-hand corner?
We spoke earlier in the first half about there being quite prominent stages of the game. Bay of Plenty owned one part of it. Turanganui-a-Kiwa owned the second part of it. It just doesn't mean... I just can't see any separation between the two sides in this half.
Definitely grind phase here, these first 4 minutes. of the second half. Shout out there to Samara Beattie and the read that she made defensively there. The number 1 for Turanganui-a-Kiwa, just on the wing there. See her in the top of the screen. Not sure what's in this water, but it's making me hiccup. I thought they're supposed to fix the hiccups, not give you the hiccups, Sean.
Yeah, as we see back on the field, just an incredible display of athleticism all round. Turanganui-a-Kiwa was getting everything thrown at them. Baopini with some sharp attack. Turanganui-a-Kiwa coming to fight back, and then we see some hard yards. The extras in behind. Well spotted. Unfortunate there to get the ball to ground call. I'm not sure. I couldn't quite see that through the subbers there. Just a little bit messy in the ruck.
What's your sense and why, in terms of which team do you think is going to get over at the top and take this one out?
I think when I see the Baopini side coming on, they come on with great intent, enthusiasm. Unfortunately, both sides there are making quite a high error count, but I just see a lot more passion coming on at the moment from the Baopini side. That doesn't take away from what we see from Turanganui-a-Kiwa. It just looks as though the Baopini have a slight upper hand, and when I say slight, a very minimal amount.
Turanganui-a-Kiwa now with an opportunity after that straight pass to be first to score in the second half. Oh, big step off the right foot. What blows me away is the ability of these rangatahi to step, almost stopping all their momentum, but then instantly generate so much acceleration off the mark.
Yeah, it's truly the skill of something that I admire greatly. I think if I was to try stop at such speed, either my good ankle or my bad ankle is going to crumple in half. But no, they definitely have quite a skill set, as we see. Unfortunate to fall over his own feet there. I probably jinxed him a little bit, but we've got a fresh set of 6 for the Turanganui-a-Kiwa down on the attacking line of Baopini. We look at that play again, but the Baopini girl link comes to the party and defends it well. Scoop out a half, some great footwork here from the 14. Kahukiwa finds the open player. Sideline referee's happy, signals the ball down.
That's such good work there from the 14, from Turanganui-a-Kiwa. Caden Kahukiwi, you just see what he does here. He gets the quickie, and I think he wants to get on the outside of the defender. Defender does really well to stay on his outside. Reading that, he then steps back into the space that's provided. Fortunately, the shutting middle couldn't come across and close that one down. So a great read from him. And to me, that's that eyes up footy, right? It's not just going, I'm going to get on the outside and try and get into a foot race. Or actually, he's giving me the inside, and this time he just steps back into it. So
yeah, he really is proving that point we spoke about getting robotic and falling back into what's natural. He went against the grain a little bit there, and he got the fruits. The slam dunk, probably not the option there.
No. Not unless you're trying to go over the defenders in that case. Good defense, though. Nice dive there from the link. Defender for Turanganui-a-Kiwa. Oh, good work. Good read there from the winger. We see her once again. I haven't seen her make a bad read yet. I hope I just haven't done what I've done every other time, and that's what's going to happen. But she has herself in a really good position, not too wide, not too tight.
Yeah, we've seen the Turanganui-a-Kiwa wingers great all over the park. Going back to the try that put Turanganui into a 5-4 lead, we saw the number 9, Rangi Huna, get into some open field to get the ball from that man in the in goal, and he was able to find her easily to be able to put the ball down. There's no one around her.
Tell you what's also been impressive. This is probably one of the highest scoring games that not the highest, but the highest scoring games today. But we haven't made a single comment really about a referee decision or a referee call. They've given these two teams the space that they need, that 7-metre gap. Been really proactive with their comms, particularly what have we seen in previous games, the amount of penalties given on the scoreline for either leaving too early or not getting all the way back. It's been a real free-flowing game. So acknowledge these 3 referees and all the referees here. Over 100 at this tournament.
Unlucky there from the Bay of Plenty. He cruised through into the in goal, was number 3, Keanu Kepa. He found the in goal rather easy. Unlucky not to convert that into points. That would have been the equaliser. Turanganui-a-Kiwa might just have to play with a little bit of gamesmanship. They would like to cross the line at least once more to put it just out of touch and then maybe play the clock a little bit as we see them take the outside of the Bay of Plenty link defender, number 5. That was Mahika, but she defends him well.
When you say play the clock, what does that look like?
So to me, playing the clock would be looking to try get as deep into their line as they do here. He gets into the in goal. Absolutely perfect use of the ball. A great try. Wow, that's just awesome. It's exactly what I had as a picture painted in my head. If they are to not turn that into points, delaying the ball as much as they can without getting on the offside of the ref, allowing your defence to get back on side and then playing from there.
So a normal set would take 30 to 40 seconds and just really trying to extend that out to a minute if you can be?
I think so, yeah. We sort of try bake the game down into you roughly attack almost every 45 seconds, and if you can slow that ball down and really delay it a little bit, defended extremely well there from the number 4, Matahiki, very well done. She scored one earlier. She stops one now. That was a very important stop. But just going back to that, it would be, for example, here, the Bay of Plenty really need to speed their game up. Turanganui-a-Kiwa can afford to be a little bit slower on the defensive side of things. And there's wahine again for the Turanganui-a-Kiwa. Matahiki, my apologies, making an extremely important stop. That's 2 in 1 set.
I guess there's that fine balance between understanding the opportunities you have to sort of take extra time versus just slowing down. Because obviously if you slow down, you're handing the ball over at the 10-metre line rather than the attacking 7-metre line.
And that's what we talk about with the gamesmanship in terms of really trying to push through into the defence and really trying to break their line, and then you slow the game down a little bit from there. Bay of Plenty just doing enough to play the game at their speed. I think Turanganui-a-Kiwa will want to look to slow it up a little bit.
You see one of the teams just in the background there of the pitches, the top of the screen. Warming up where they shouldn't, but getting in behind. We've seen him do this in the first half, setting up the last 2 touchdowns for Bay of Plenty. Tahana nearly does it there again. The speed he has, just the defense, they really need to stick probably 2 or 3 people on him.
Yeah, no doubt. I look at the Turanganui-a-Kiwa defender that was chasing him, ball in the hands of him now. He didn't quite manage to get there in time. He put enough pressure on him to force the pass, and I saw the fist pump come in the air when the ball went to ground. He was happy with that one. He did enough to stop the try.
What do we got here from Turanganui-a-Kiwa? It's promising there, Kaurangi.
Final touch coming.
Waihi. Oh, great platform. Steps, goes to this right-hand side. He's in behind already. Did the touch get there? No, it didn't. Oh, I thought it might have. Really looking forward to the replay on this one. Referee in the perfect position. We see Quinn getting through in there. Oh, missed the pants, got the foot. And it's amazing just to think, less than a tenth of a second, the release. Excellent decision there from the ref. Great skills from Turanganui-a-Kiwa. That's put them out 7-4. You can score 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes, Sean, but probably unlikely.
We did see that short side scoop from Quinn only a matter of about 3 or 4 minutes ago to score the 6th try. He then sets up the 7th. I've seen it a number of times for the Ngāti East Coast team. Bay of Plenty fight back with just over a minute and a half. They get one back, closing the deficit to 2.
They obviously heard me. They're going to make a liar out of me, and I hope they do. Bay of Plenty. Oh, look at the timing. We've talked a number of times about how quickly players can get the ball to the ground. I think it was number 10 there. Reeve, number 10 for Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, and we see Leach, Waihi, and that man, number 7, Quinn, head back out there for another line strike. Just doing enough to control the game. You see the ball going back and forward. It's enough to just wind the clock down a little bit. Strong touch coming in from Bay of Plenty. Still touch 3, yet to get to the 7. Just over a minute on the clock. Happy to pull back and eat the clock away. This is great gamesmanship from Turanganui-a-Kiwa. Gets down well. Touch made from that number 6. Richard Defo from Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, really need a quick turnover here. In a normal game, this would be the last set that they'd have with the ball. So they need to score 100% off this set and then get a turnover in the very first touch. If we talk about games play, I'm sure it'll be the slowest the ball's ever returned to the halfway line. Oh, good defense. The winning of the game right there. The effort from Quinn, the number 7 for Turanganui-a-Kiwa. That would have been a poster otherwise, wouldn't it?
Yes, my hat off to Turanganui-a-Kiwa. What an amazing effort as the countdown is on to the hooter. We hear it in the background there. They might go for one more. Happy to take the touch, I'd say. Whakanuia ki te tima no te Turanganui-a-Kiwa. Well done also to Bay of Plenty. An amazing spectacle for the last game of the day. Heoi anō, kua mutu te kēmu tua ono, mo te rā tua rua kua mutu ngā kēmu katoa, hoki mai a pōpō. Tēnei te mihi ki a koutou katoa e te whānau.